A guy on a Tesla forum posted a photo of his garage outlet completely melted to the wall. The plastic housing was charred black, the metal prongs were fused together inside the receptacle, and his mobile connector was destroyed. His licensed electrician had installed that outlet just 6 months earlier. And the scary part is that thousands of Tesla owners have that exact same cheap outlet sitting in their garage right now. These are 5 home charging mistakes that could cost you thousands of dollars, or in some cases, your entire house. Number 5, the charging schedule mistake that silently burns through $500 every single year. Here is something about your electricity bill that blows my mind. The majority of Tesla owners pull into their garage after work, somewhere between 4 and 7 in the evening, plug their charging cable into the car, and just let it start charging right away. Sounds like a normal evening in any suburban garage, right? The problem is that window between 4 and 7 is the most expensive time to use electricity in your entire day. Your power company charges premium rates during those peak hours because everyone in your neighborhood is running their air conditioning, their ovens, their dryers all at the same time. And your Tesla just joined the party, pulling a massive load right alongside all of it. The price difference is not small. In parts of California, peak electricity rates hit over 70 cents per kilowatt hour. But if you wait until after 9 at night, that same electricity drops to around 36 cents per kilowatt hour. In some areas of Portland, the off-peak rate drops all the way down to 8 cents per kilowatt hour, compared to 41 cents per kilowatt hour during peak. That is an 80% cost reduction just from changing when your car starts charging. One owner on a Tesla forum said his monthly electric bill jumped from $200 to $470 because he was charging starting at 6 in the evening on a tiered rate plan instead of scheduling it for off-peak hours. That is over $3,000 a year in extra electricity costs for no reason. Now here is the part that trips people up. Tesla gives you 2 different scheduling options on the touchscreen and in the app. One is called scheduled charging and the other is called scheduled departure. And these 2 features actually fight each other. Multiple owners on forums reported that their car started charging immediately the moment they plugged in, completely ignoring their schedule. The reason was they had scheduled departure turned on while also trying to use scheduled charging. You have to pick one or the other. The Tesla app does not make this obvious at all. The quick fix on your Tesla touchscreen is simple. Go into your Tesla app, set up scheduled charging for whatever time your off-peak rates kick in, and make sure scheduled departure is turned off. There are also free apps like OptiWatt that automate this whole process and find the cheapest hours for you automatically. This one change alone could save you anywhere from $500 to over $1,000 every single year without doing anything differently except setting a timer. But wasting money on your electric bill is nothing compared to this next mistake that costs Tesla owners thousands before they even plug in for the first time. Number 4. The GFCI double protection trap that turns your home charging into a daily nightmare. This one drives Tesla owners absolutely crazy, and I see complaints about it on forums every single week. Here is what happens. You get your electrician to install a NEMA 1450 outlet in your garage for your Tesla. To meet current electrical code, your electrician puts in a GFCI breaker in your electrical panel. That breaker is designed to shut off power if it detects a ground fault, basically an electrical leak. The breaker alone costs around $150 to $200. The problem is that your Tesla mobile connector and the Tesla wall connector both already have their own built-in ground fault protection. So now you have 2 separate GFCI devices sitting on the same circuit, and they do not play nice together. When your Tesla runs its startup ground fault self-test every time you plug in, it sometimes triggers the GFCI breaker in your panel. The result is constant random tripping that makes you want to throw something through a wall. One owner on the Tesla Motors Club forum said he had to unplug and plug his car back in every single day, sometimes 3 times a day. Another owner said his car would sometimes charge to full with no issues, but then the next night it would trip at 10% and the night after that at 40%. Completely random, completely maddening, and enough to make you stare at your breaker panel at 2 in the morning wondering what went wrong. Some owners even reported the Tesla charger causing other GFCI protected devices in their house to trip, including hot tub breakers and LED lights flickering throughout the home. The fix that your electrician probably will not volunteer is to skip the outlet entirely and hardwire the Tesla wall connector directly to your electrical panel. According to the National Electrical Code, a hardwired charging station with its own built-in ground fault protection does not require an additional GFCI breaker. This one change eliminates the double protection problem completely, removes the outlet as a potential failure point, and actually upgrades your maximum charging speed from 40 amps to 48 amps. That is a 20% speed boost for free just by choosing a different installation method. Now on to number 3. This one could save you more money than anything else on this list. Number 3. The hidden feature from Tesla that could save you $5,000 to $15,000 on a panel upgrade. When a Tesla owner calls an electrician to install a wall connector, the first thing the electrician does is look at the electrical panel in the garage or basement. If that panel is rated at 100 amps, which is extremely common in homes built before the year 2000, the electrician usually says the same thing. You need a 200 amp panel upgrade before we can install this charger, and that electrical panel upgrade is not cheap. Forum members have reported quotes ranging from $2,000 all the way up to $15,000, especially if underground trenching is required to run new service from the utility pole to the house. One owner on the Tesla Motors Club forum was quoted $9,500. Another was told $15,000. But here is what your electrician probably does not know, and what Tesla does not exactly advertise on the box. The Tesla wall connector has a built-in feature called power management that can make that entire panel upgrade unnecessary. The simplest version lets you install the wall connector on a smaller breaker. Instead of running a 60 amp circuit, you put it on a 30 amp breaker, delivering 24 amps to the car. That adds roughly 24 miles of range per hour of charging. Plug in when you go to bed, wake up 8 hours later, and you have gained about 190 miles of range. If you drive less than 50 miles a day, that is more than enough. But the real hidden feature is called dynamic power management. You install a small power monitoring device on your electrical panel that talks to the wall connector over your home Wi-Fi network. When your dryer kicks on or your water heater fires up, the wall connector automatically dials back its charging speed. When those appliances shut off, the charger ramps right back up. Your panel never gets overloaded because the charger is constantly adjusting in real time. The monitoring hardware costs about $100 to $200. Compare that to $15,000 for a panel upgrade. There is one more detail that nobody mentions. If you own a Model 3 standard range or a Model Y standard range, your car's onboard charger is limited to 32 amps. That means installing a 60 amp circuit for these cars gives you absolutely zero additional charging speed. You are paying hundreds of extra dollars in heavier wiring and a bigger breaker for capacity your car literally cannot use. A 40 amp breaker with the right gauge wire is all you need. Before you let any electrician talk you into a panel upgrade, ask them about power management. Get at least 3 quotes. Forum members consistently report that electrician pricing for the exact same work varies by 3 to 5 times depending on who you call. And that kind of price difference is something you never want to discover after the fact. If you are finding this video helpful so far, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I put out videos like this every week covering the stuff that Tesla owners actually need to know. Now the next 2 mistakes get serious. We are moving past money and into territory where your home and your family's safety are on the line. Number 2, skipping the electrical permit and why that piece of paper could be worth more than your house. A lot of Tesla owners skip the electrical permit for their charger installation because it feels like pointless government paperwork. The permit typically costs between $50 and $400, depending on where you live. The process requires scheduling an inspection and waiting for an inspector to come out. It feels like a hassle compared to just letting your electrician finish the job and move on. Many electricians will do the work without a permit if you do not ask. But that piece of paper is the single document standing between you and financial disaster if something goes wrong. Insurance companies can deny fire damage claims if the fire originated from unpermitted electrical work. Their logic is simple. No permit means no inspector verified the installation. No inspection leaves open the possibility the work was substandard, and substandard work can be considered negligence by you, the homeowner. This is not a theory. Major insurance providers like State Farm specifically warn homeowners to pull permits for electric vehicle charger installations. Electricians on professional forums have shared stories of insurance companies denying claims and pursuing legal action to recover payouts when unpermitted work was involved. The consequences also show up when you try to sell your home. In most states, unpermitted electrical work has to be disclosed. Buyer's inspections flag it. Your realtor may demand retroactive permits, which means an inspector examines work that might not meet current code. That can force you to tear everything out and redo it from scratch at double the original cost. One electrician reported a homeowner who spent between $2,500 and $4,000 redoing a charger installation during a home sale. The installation had originally cost $800. There is also a tax credit detail worth knowing about. The federal 30% tax credit for electric vehicle charger installations, worth up to $1,000, requires proof of permitted work. Skip the permit and you leave $1,000 on the table on top of everything else. The $50 permit is not bureaucracy, it is insurance for your insurance. Get that permit from your local building department every single time. And that brings us to number 1. This is the most dangerous Tesla home charging mistake on this entire list. And it is hiding in plain sight in thousands of garages right now. Number 1, the $10 outlet that could burn your house down. The standard NEMA 1450 outlet sold at every Home Depot and Lowe's in the country typically cost between $10 and $15. Your electrician grabs one off the shelf, wires it up in your garage, and you plug in your Tesla. Everything looks fine, and it works fine for a while. The problem is that outlet was designed for kitchen ranges, an appliance that gets plugged in once and draws power on and off throughout the day. It was never engineered for what a Tesla demands from it, which is a continuous 40 amp draw for 8 to 12 hours straight, every single night, 365 nights a year. These cheap outlets use undersized steel contacts inside that gradually develop resistance under sustained high amperage loads. That resistance creates heat, that heat causes arcing, and that arcing eventually melts the plastic housing and can ignite the surrounding wall materials in your garage. The industrial-grade alternative from brands like Hubbell or Bryant costs between $50 and $125. It uses full-size brass contacts specifically designed for continuous high-amperage applications. From the outside, both outlets look nearly identical. From the inside, the difference between them is the difference between a functioning charger and a structure fire. The real-world cases are terrifying. One Tesla forum member reported that the outlet his electrician installed exploded after a few months of use. He described it sounding like a gunshot, and the mobile connector was literally fused into the outlet. He spent over $1,300 across 3 electrician visits and burned through 3 mobile connectors before figuring out what was happening. A family in Chester County, Pennsylvania found their outlet smoking while their Tesla was charging. An independent electrician told them they were minutes from a house fire and their daughter's bedroom was directly above the garage. The biggest case made national headlines. NFL player Randall Cobb's Nashville mansion suffered over $4 million in damage when a Tesla charging setup failed while charging a Model S. 2 vehicles were completely destroyed. In Sanford, Florida, a family of 6 barely escaped their home in the middle of the night when a fire during charging gutted the entire house. One of the daughters had to jump from a 2nd-story window to get out. Here is what makes EV charging completely different from every other appliance in your home. Your clothes dryer runs for maybe 45 minutes a few times a week. Your Tesla pulls near maximum current for 8 or more consecutive hours every single night. No other appliance in your home puts that kind of sustained demand on a single outlet. The outlet is the weakest link in the entire system, and the cheap one sitting on the shelf looks exactly like the good one. If you have a plug-in charging setup right now, go look at your outlet, check the brand, check if it is getting warm to the touch after a few hours of charging, and seriously consider either upgrading to an industrial-grade receptacle for about $100, or better yet, having your electrician hardwire a Tesla wall connector and eliminating the outlet entirely. That is going to wrap up the 5 Tesla home charging mistakes that cost owners the most money and cause the most headaches. If you found this helpful, check out the video on screen right now. I think you are going to want to see that one too.